Hi everybody, AstroTarotJohn here, and this is your card for Thursday, January 29th, 2026. And once again, the card on my shirt matches the card we drew today. It is the Emperor. This time it's from the Pixie Pop Tarot, which is very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith in many ways. The Emperor represents fathering, structure, organization, the establishment. It represents regulation, coordination, all of these words that sound very official and governmental, which is exactly kind of, if you look at the Emperor, what he looks like. He's the guy who sets the tone and the direction and the structure for family, an organization, a group, what have you. He's the guy who is the authority figure. So what does he have to say to us today? Well, he has a lot to say to us today about how we structure things generally. Where does that leave us? Well, one of the things that the Emperor is going to do is he's going to provide explanations. So when a decision has to be made, the Emperor has the authority to make it. Those decisions are not always going to please everyone. So the Emperor needs to be able to provide an explanation of why we made a decision a certain way. There's no getting around this one, folks. The idea that we're going to make decisions and not tell anyone why we made them is ridiculous, and it's not realistic. So as you make decisions today, be prepared to defend those decisions. Also, be prepared for the realization that some people are not going to like those decisions. I've been in situations in the workplace where I've made decisions and I thought, everyone is going to like this decision. It makes sense. Not true. You may be surprised to know that sometimes negative feedback is going to come from places where you least expect it. So with the Emperor, the first piece of advice is be prepared to explain the rationale behind your decisions. The second part of what we're going to talk about today is structure within systems. So as you are establishing structure in your life, think about what systems you can create to make this easier for yourself when it comes to your home, your work, decision making, in community organizations you volunteer in, no matter what. Is there a system that you can establish that will be helpful to you? One simple one that I can think of that a lot of people do, for example, is a phone tree. If there's bad weather, for example, before the advent of the internet and text messaging, we had a phone tree where someone would call someone who would call someone else to give the message down the line so everyone would know what was going on, what was expected of them. Nowadays it can be text message, group texting. A lot of things have overtaken that, obviously, but that was a system that was used to let people know what was going on. There are other systems that can be put in place in your organizations, at work, and at home to help you structure things better. So today, my piece of advice to you is think about ways where you can structure your life using a system to make things a little bit more efficient and effective. If it takes a little bit more of the decision making off of you, that would be great. For example, what if you are not around to make a decision? Well, then what happens? Who gets to make that call in your absence? And are you prepared to support that person's decision? These are systems that you can establish in advance that will be very helpful to you. The final part of the Emperor today is about working with principles. Principles are important. And what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to know what your principles are as you make decisions. Now, as you do make decisions, there should be a way for you to know what principles are guiding your decisions. It's not always easy. Sometimes it comes from within, and you have to really think about, well, what really guided me toward that decision? Important. And yes, after the decision is made, there are people who are going to say, okay, we understand why that person made the decision that way. But make sure that you understand the principles that are underpinning your decisions. And sometimes those decisions are going to seem a little bit selfish, and you need to know that too. That doesn't mean you should never make a decision that's not going to benefit you. That's not true at all. But you should know when that is occurring, and you should know why you made a decision a certain way. And that's the principles part of the Emperor. You should know exactly what principles you're going to be applying when you're making decisions in your life. In any case, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. My name is AstroTarotJohn. I look forward to seeing you across my table soon, whether virtually or in person.